The market's ending the day on a flat but to the positive note. Safaricom, of course, being one of those laggards, losing around 3.4% in yesterday's session. At one point yesterday, we saw it down as much as 9%. When do you think the negativity spell is going to end for this telecoms industry and for the telecoms company?
I believe what Safaricom is actually going through at the market is we're seeing for the first time a market actually reacting to fundamental news. And I believe what Safaricom is enduring won't be something that's going to end anytime soon, because most of the other competitors, we're looking at you and Zain, they're actually giving Tehran for its money. And unless they change the strategy, many local investors in the company are actually looking for an exit strategy, because they believe they understand that the times for, the good times for Safaricom actually coming to an end. So it's time to jump ship and look for another suitable company to invest in. Also, the other thing is in regard to regulations that have actually, been taken to the president's office to be sorted out. So I believe Safaricom is actually going to be on a negative trend for the next coming weeks until a lot of things are sorted out. One, the regulations. Two, until a firm consolidation of its products and services actually defined, because at the end of the day, we're seeing that most of the offers actually that it's offering in terms of counter reactions to what other companies are offering. And until new innovations and services on a permanent basis are actually given, Safaricom's share performance at the market is going to be on the negative.
Well, Steve, it's interesting because Safaricom has been one of those preferred stocks in the telecoms industry and still is a market leader. For now, you're talking about consolidation when it comes to various product offerings, and you're also talking about the regulatory environment. If investors are offloading Safaricom, which other telecoms company are they heading into if they are going to be looking at other opportunities on the market?
I believe the other telecom company that that many investors are looking at, whether listed on the bourse or not, is the Bharti Airtel and the U, because they're coming up with very innovative products based on data provision. And the other aspect is we're looking at companies that are actually able to look at innovation, look at consolidating its services at the cheapest affordability. And at the end of the day, I think the issue is looking at the bottom of the pyramid kind of client, the ordinary person on the street with maybe probably $1 to spend and seeing how they can be able to tap it from him. So it's going to be interesting in terms of coming up with services and products that target the mass market at the end of the day. And what Safaricom has been doing, Safaricom has pretty good products and services, but I think the strategy that it's actually employing at the moment is not really working in its favor.
Would you be selling at 4 shillings 30?
If I was an investor in Safaricom, I think I'll be jumping ship at the moment because I know it's heading for tough times.
Yeah. Touching on the likes of Kenol Kobil, a company that saw immense gains in yesterday's session, of course, the licensing issues done away with as well. Looking at the petroleum shortages that have been coming through in Kenya, what are you looking at in terms of the energy sector, and would Kenol Kobil be one of those preferred stocks?
The interesting thing about the energy sector is that the devil is in the detail. And what's emerging out of Kenol Kobil is that despite the issues they've been having with the Ministry of Energy and the Kenya Pipeline Regulatory Limited is to do with private contracts between the two of them. And what's emerging is that a lot of issues that are not really clear to most of us analysts and even the consumers of the products and services. What I know is they hurriedly signed a deal with the relevant stakeholders to actually save it from, to save its business continuing. And the problem is it's been exposed to huge claims. And this is where the issue of details is actually emerging. And many of us are asking ourselves, what is the true story behind it? Because it's been going on for the last 1 month. And each stakeholder is actually coming up with one story and another. But its performance of the market has actually been resurgent in the last yesterday and on Friday. So we're looking at how it's going to perform this week, and also looking at the aspects of legal issues that are actually going to emanate, because we can see that for example, like Safaricom, the biggest challenge for it is the aspect of regulatory issues, which are legal, and same for Kenol Kobil. So we're realizing that most of these companies, when it comes to legal issues, that's where they're actually having a challenge in terms of being able to handle their share performances at the market.
Steve, a flurry of rights issues have come to the fore in Kenya. Just looking at the likes of TPS Serena, basically 35% oversubscribed. Pretty much good results for the company. Do you think that it is the way to go for these new companies that are looking to gain market exposure?
I believe the likes of TPS Serena, Stanchart, and KCB taken the path for rights issue is a good way to actually gain exposure to the markets and be able to raise capital for expansion. But also, too much of something is actually going to be poisonous, because I believe at the end of the day, if all companies decide to go this way, then many investors are actually going to be turned off, because at the end of the day, too much of something. I'd want to be an investor in something that's actually unique and different. And the same way the way equities have been performing, whereby everyone is actually going for the same thing. So I believe for now it's a good vehicle for gaining market exposure, coming up with strategic partners and getting capital for expansion. But as a long-term strategy, I don't think so. And I think many companies that are listed at the board need to look at other strategic modes of raising capital and market exposure.
Steve, let's touch on Mumias Sugar, one of the first companies in Kenya to receive money for carbon trading, and also starting to expand on ethanol production as well. A good time to buy the stock?
Mumias is pretty interesting because if I was an investor, I'll actually be buying a lot of it, because one, the core business, which is sugar production, is actually on the dwindle. And with the rules concerning COMESA coming to an end in 2012, diversification for it is the only lifeline for its investors and the people, the stakeholders in it. So I believe it's a good company to watch with very strong fundamentals. However, it has legal issues, small fights between the farmers back in the upcountry sector and the parliamentary committee on agriculture. So it has strong fundamentals, but also small issues that actually might derail its prospects if not handled well.